got £80 in my bank till Friday. And I need petrol. I need some bits for the house. My teenage daughter's requested a couple of items. And it's my son's birthday this week. He's going to be 22. But it's all right. I'm going to make it work. I've become comfortable with not having much money. I've become comfortable with not being able to afford holidays abroad. I'm comfortable with driving a 22-year-old car. And I'm comfortable that I don't have hot water unless my heating comes on, because it's a really old central heating system and the hot water pump's broke. So it only activates in manual mode when I've got the heating on. And obviously the weather's warmer now, so I'm just waffling about shit. But basically, I'm comfortable with not having much. I've never been a materialistic person. It doesn't matter that I can't go abroad, because the Peak District, which is only like a 20-30 minute drive from me, is stunning. And it brings me so much joy. I love that kind of thing. Oh, it's all right. It's okay. It's okay to be skinny. It's okay to not have much. We're not starving. There's food in cupboards. And anything that I give my son for his birthday, I know that he'll appreciate. I'm going to make him a cake, and he loves my cakes. Get comfortable. Get comfortable with being skint. It does wonders for you. Honestly. I'm not going to cry. I'm not. I'm all right. Honestly, I am. I'm not kidding you. I'm comfortable with being skint. It's okay. It's a challenge. I'm on a mission. I've got £80 in my bank, and I'm going to get the stuff that I need. Wants and needs. There's lots of things that I'd want, but I don't need them.
You guys, I can't afford it. I can't afford life. I just can't. It's so hard. It's so expensive. So that's that. You guys, I can't afford it. I can't afford life. I just can't. It's so hard. It's so expensive. It's so darn expensive to live nowadays. I just can't do it. I don't know how everybody else is doing it. I don't know what kind of money you're making. Where are you guys working? That is normal people. I'm talking about normal people. I'm talking about not influencers, not these crazy high corporate jobs, normal jobs. What are you guys doing? Because apparently I'm doing something wrong. I can't afford life with my job. I can't afford it. And I can't leave either. So that's that.
To 2025, where a 2-income household working full-time can't afford a kids' party. My daughter Mia is turning 8. She wants the proper package at the trampoline party with 9 friends, which is the least amount of kids you can have, 10 kids including her. This alone for just the jumping and food is £189.50. And here we are, both of us working full-time, trying to figure out how the hell we can afford it. And no, not because we're careless with money or we splurge out on luxuries, but because after all the bills are paid, we barely have anything left to survive with. And I think this is the reality that no one really wants to talk about. This is the 2025 reality for most people. It's not a case of bad money management or stop buying a Costa every day. The pure fact that wages don't match the cost of living. Families are working their butts off just to stay afloat, and they're feeling like they're failing their kids, and it's just so unfair. When did giving your kid a birthday party become a massive luxury in life? I just feel like we all deserve so much better than this, and we shouldn't have to apologise for saying it. So follow me and share my journey, making an extra income online, building a following. I'm here to share tips and tricks whenever I can with saving and making money, so hit the follow button and join the team.
To come up with $4,000 by April 20th in order to secure a cheaper apartment that I'm looking into. They want $250 per cat for a pet deposit. Why do I have 3 cats? $120 for the application fee already. I saw someone else do this on TikTok with their student debt. She went live and everybody donated roses and she was able to pay off $20,000 in student debt. I think 1 rose counts as $1, so if I get 4,000 roses, I can move into my apartment. That is more affordable. Do I think this is going to work? Absolutely not. But am I going to try it? Yeah, because I'm out of ideas. So if you see me go live, that's what's going on. Come and hang out in the chat. You don't have to donate, but that's where I'll be all day. We'll see how this goes. It's going to be an interesting experiment, but it's worth a shot, I guess. I'll see you guys there.
Afford to tip, then you cannot afford to eat out. I used to be a waitress. I was in the service industry for a couple years in between my college breaks. And if you can afford to eat out and pay for a $70 meal, but you cannot afford to tip, then you cannot afford to eat out. I think it is so egotistical and quite frankly just rude when you go to a restaurant and the service might not be the best service. The waitress or waiter could be having a bad day, whatever it might be, and not tipping at all because they got your drink order wrong. If that's gonna make you not tip, maybe you should stay home. I even feel this way with takeout orders. I'm not saying tip 20% when you're just simply going and picking it up, but you can tip $2. It's very easy. I remember I had a friend in college and she said that she was just the hostess or the person that would do the to-go orders or whatever, and people used to never tip her. And okay, valid, I used to be that way, but I always tip $1 or $2. It's not hard. I think we forget this is people's livelihoods. People depend on this money to feed themselves and their family. So, it's just be a decent human being. And if you can't afford to tip when you eat out, if you're broke, just say that.
I'm so tired of living my life in survival mode because despite having 2 college degrees and making close to $80,000 a year, I still cannot keep up with the cost of living. I still cannot afford all of my bills every month and have to live paycheck to paycheck. I think that's absolutely ridiculous. I am sacrificing my mental health, my time, and my energy to take care of people in their most vulnerable moments, and a lot of the time they do not make it. At the very least, I should be able to pay my bills. And for anyone who's thinking, oh, well, you shouldn't have chose that job, somebody has to do it. And you know damn well, if your loved one was critically ill, you would want somebody to take care of them, right? Something has to give. I cannot keep doing this. I am so tired of living my life in survival.
What really gets me, when people in older generations like boomers and Gen X or whatever their generation is called, says that Gen Z are entitled and they want everything handed to them on a silver platter. What are we getting handed to us? We don't have houses. We're in our 20s, late 20s, even early 30s, some millennials, living under their parents' roof because they can't afford rent or a house. We're all in low-paid jobs with full-on qualifications and degrees because the competitiveness in the job market is so atrocious at the moment that we're all in the lowest entry-level jobs, most of the time not even in the fields that we are qualified in because there's no jobs. We have no money for traveling or holidays or all of these things that most people could maybe afford to do 2-3 times a year with a family years ago. Unless you have make serious sacrifices because that's your goal. We can't afford children. Everyone's always young people don't want children, they'll change their minds, it's just an age thing. No, it's not. It's a financial thing. We can't afford it. We can't even afford pets. How are we affording a full-on human? So that's just a few examples. I just don't understand the whole, we want everything handed to us. What are we having handed to us? We are having nothing. We don't receive anything. We're all living at home. We can't afford houses. We're not in the jobs that we want to be in, or even close to progressing in the jobs we want to be in, if we are in those fields, other than the lucky few. And by that, I'm not trying to dismiss anyone's hard work, but generally, I just don't understand. What someone else, are people in my generation receiving things that I'm not? I don't get it. And I know that they're not. But what are these people referring to? You want everything handed to you. what are we having handed to us? We don't want everything handed to us. We just want the basic things that these generations got years and years ago. Like, your pay used to be here, and then the housing prices used to be here, and now our pay is here and the housing prices are up here. I don't understand. What do you not understand about that? We want change so badly, and we're so liberal and opinionated on these changes, and so strung up on these changes because you lived cushy compared to these things for us. Like, you were able to buy houses and have children and grow families and see some places that you wanted to see and take your family to Disneyland, Florida, blah, 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 blah. We can't do any of that. We can't even afford our food shop at the weekend. So what are we feel like we're entitled to? Basic rights? Basic things like housing, a roof over our head? So entitled. How dare we?
Let me know if I can help you with anything.
Yeah, of course. This is... Oh! Do you guys have bikinis?
No, we don't sell bikinis.
Oh, too bad. That's like the only thing I was looking for.
Shoot.
Yeah, so I gotta go.
Okay. Can I get you a glass of champagne while you look?
Oh my god, that would be lovely. I
so
would
I'll
like,
put that
actually I'm allergic to champagne.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know what it is about the bubbles. They just make me vomit and diarrhea and...
Oh my god. Okay,
I
got it.
don't one of those. I gotta go.
Support kids, don't have kids. Oof. It really annoys me. So I see this comment and it just winds me up because the cost of living is insane at the minute.
Yeah.
Interest rates are mad. First-time buyers are struggling to buy houses. People that are remortgaging that have houses and children already, their payments are also going up. So I was talking to a guy recently, he's got 4 kids. His oldest is 10. He said that his mortgage has doubled in price. We're having to like shuffle things around. If you can't afford kids, don't have kids. But I've already got them. What do you want me to do? Send them back? It just really frustrates me.
It's one of those ones where that's usually the first comment. As soon as you mention any type of money, they're like, well, shouldn't have had kids then. Rather than just going, nah, I see a problem. It's usually the first one that comes up. I do think there are situations where that should be a consideration.
Yeah.
And that is a consideration for a lot of people, either having a child or having a second or a third. You go, can we afford this? That's a logistical step. But you're right. You go from now. I'm not planning for like my mortgage rate to skyrocket in the next 10 years. Like it could, but if you live like that, you won't do anything. So it's a bit of a moot point.
I think we as people and we as a society, we're too compliant and complacent about what's happening right now. With inflation, with the rental market, housing crisis, rising gas prices, rising everything, insurance, especially how it's affecting younger people. I think we're just way too relaxed about what's going on. Everyone is saying if you're young, leave the UK, move to Thailand, do this, do that. There's a creator that I'm going to tag. Go watch her videos. Her content is really good and relatable for young people living in the UK, pertaining to people that are getting their degrees, PhDs, whatever, and being, becoming a grown-ass adult, moving to London, getting a London salary and still being forced to house share. Not even a choice, but you're being forced to house share because you can't even afford to get your own place. And as someone that's from the West Midlands, just know that they're trying to do this in all the major cities where there's just not enough space. They're trying to make it so everyone is house sharing, everyone's living in a HMO. And these landlords that are owning these HMOs just know they're greedy because they see people that obviously come from a low socioeconomic background, people that are desperate, and they will just cramp them all in houses. And I really do feel like it's giving Hunger Games. I feel like the divide of wealth between the ultra rich and regular normal people, even middle class people, they're really starting to feel it. They are the ones even struggling the most. At least we've learned to be frugal and live that sort of lifestyle. It's hitting middle class people the worst because they're the ones that's got their mortgage, the expensive cars, and now they're drowning. They're drowning in debt. They're losing their jobs. All these tech companies letting them go. But anyways, I digress. It's giving Hunger Games because I know that they're gonna cramp all the poor people. And we're all going to be in slums and ghettos, and the ultra wealthy are going to be in mansions and yachts and all these things, watching us eating rats to survive. And I don't even think that's an exaggeration. Everything is just going to go up and up and up until they come in with a solution, which is going to be like the Great Reset, and they're going to just we're not going to be in control of anything. All of our finances done out, everything, we're going to have to rely on them, literally like Hunger Games. Like, how bad does it have to get? Like, how bad do things have to escalate before we decide to have a revolution? Because this is not something I believe that's going to get bad. That's why everyone's trying to leave the UK, but I kind of feel bad for them places that we're going to, like, for example, Thailand, Vietnam, these places that are known for being cheap. But they're no longer going to be cheap because we have privileged Westerners gentrifying those places and making it expensive for the locals. So it's like, we're taking one problem and bringing it to these places, we're bringing it to the East. And not to say that we're not allowed to move, you know, I'm personally someone that wants to leave the UK as soon as possible, but it's like, it's kind of a peak situation worldwide, and it kind of makes you think this is late stage capitalism at the end of the day. Like, this is just all this is the effects of late stage capitalism, and everything is going to go up and up and up and get so bad to the point it's going to need a great reset. But when is it going to take the people to realize, like, we shouldn't necessarily have to pay for things that ensure our survival? Because, like, what the hell? What's gonna happen when, you know, Tesco's is fully stocked, but people are literally starving outside because we can't afford food? Are we gonna have a revolt and be like, okay, we're gonna raid Tesco's? Or, like, is it gonna turn into the purge? Like, what is gonna happen? Because deep it, people are already cutting out so many luxuries and privileges out their lives, and, you know, we're all feeling the inflation, but I feel like no one's really talking about it. We're still shopping, we're still going out to eat and stuff, but we don't actually deep like how bad it's getting. Like, regardless, I think it's gonna get to a point no one's gonna be able to do nothing, no one's gonna be able to have fun, everyone's just gonna be depressed. But I'm ready to revolt when you guys are. Go check out this creator anyways, she's the one that sparked the idea for this video. I think they're gonna try normalizing house shares and stuff, and I know London is notorious for being expensive, but I really do feel like they're gonna try to push this across the UK, starting with major cities. And I feel like this whole idea of moving to north or moving to places like with like sparser populations, like, that's not really gonna work if you're a POC and, like, if you don't drive and, like, you're trying to move a whole, you know, family and
Breaking news, this video behind me is going viral and causing controversy. Check this out.
This is the first month I won't be able to afford rent. I'm not a rich person. I don't have a lot of stuff. I have basic household necessities: a couch, a bed, washer, and dryer. That's about it. A car. I don't have a lot of lavish things. I don't go on vacations, and I don't spend a lot. Rent's increased from $1,300 to $1,800. The food prices are too high. I've cut back on eating because I literally cannot afford food. I've cut back on my favorite snacks, cat food, treats. I'm exhausted all the time from being overworked and underpaid. You don't catch a break when you grow up poor. I don't need much to be happy. I just want to be able to live comfortable. I just really need to catch a break right now. I'm trying so hard, and I feel like I'm not doing enough. I don't have family. I don't have anything to fall back.
Now, for context, this girl lives in a 2-bedroom apartment with 8 cats and lives in a nice part of town. Have you ever thought that maybe at this point in your life you shouldn't be trying to have a 2-bedroom apartment by yourself with 8 cats and only working one job 40 hours a week? Because when most people were her age and they wanted to live on their own, they would have this thing called roommates, or they'd have a partner to split bills with. So if you're not willing to work more than one job because you want to live by yourself in a luxury apartment with 8 cats, then that's on you. Like, I get it, it sucks. You were told to lie when you were young that if you go to college and you become this boss babe, you can be able to live on your own, go on vacations, have all this money. But in reality, that just doesn't happen. Because at no time in the past has anyone, 18, 19, 20, 21, just been able to go from rags to riches, go from being poor to going in a 2-bedroom apartment, having 8 cats, and only working 40 hours a week and just being comfortable. I get she wants sympathy for this video. I get she probably wants people to give her handouts so she can afford her new rent. But she's doing this thing called not living within her means. And that's what a lot of people need to realize. If you are living outside of your means, it's going to be stressful. But I do hope she gets the help that she needs, and hopefully maybe she'll move or maybe meet a guy or girl, whatever she's into, to help split the bills with. But let me know your guys' thoughts down below. I saw this video and honestly, I didn't feel like any sympathy. Because literally everyone else lives within their means, or they get a roommate, or they start dating someone to split bills with, period. But let me know your thoughts. Love, peace, and taco grease. Imagine complaining about living in a 2-bedroom lavish apartment with 8 cats and you can't afford it. Now you think? You're working 40 hours a week.
Having straight up panic attack here, £160. That is all I have got for this week. I don't know if I've overspent, it's Barclays, whatever. £160. Mind you, I need petrol, I need food, I've got one on a free from diet, I need nappies, I need cleaning stuff, I need to live, pack ups for school. If you know me, you know that this and having to stick to a budget is going to send me into overdrive. Even if I see gaps in my cupboard or my fridge or my freezer, I have straight up panic attacks. You don't understand. Even with years of trauma treatment, this is giving me anxiety past a point, right? As you can tell, I'm getting worked up telling you. £160 to live on for a week with petrol, with pack-ups, with food, everything. I don't know I'm going to do it. I really don't. I'm going to have to log it. I'm going to have to progress it because I can't go over. I've got